Hello everyone, this is BIS tutorial. It's quite early in the morning and I just felt like taking you guys through the second part of the introduction to SketchUp, right? Um, so what we will be covering in this part of the tutorial, in this second part of the tutorial is that I'll just take you through the various exercises on how to actually form a plane and then how to extrude it, or in order to make a wall or a surface which you want to create with some thickness. But as of now, I just want to remind you guys that for you to actually form a closed surface, or for you guys or for us to actually achieve a surface made out of made in SketchUp, we need to actually form a closed loop first. So whether it may be a line which may turn it into a triangle or a polygonal, it has to be in the same plane first of all, which is it can be either in these xy plane, or it can be in yz plane or xz plane or whatsoever. Uh, but they need to be always in parallel and perpendicular to each other. It's something like how a vector works, and this is somewhat different from the way things work in softwares like Rhino or 3ds Max, or the other softwares which deals with NURBS and splines and everything. This is pretty as this is fairly simple as compared with them, but I think it's more efficient in terms of the time consumed in order to make stuff like that. Yeah, so I would like to introduce you to one of the toolbars which will be always necessary for you when you're kind of working with the in any kind of project, right? This is in particular the view tab, the view options. You can get it. I think I mentioned in the last previous yeah, I've mentioned in the last previous tutorial, right? Yeah, you can get this thing by just cross-checking um, you can just get it from here. Just go to toolbar and then you can have it here, views. So if I disable this one, then this would probably go off. For now I'm not going to do it because you'll need some sort of arrangements, right? However, you can just drag it up and down, and you can just create it. You can just create your own toolbar. All of these are actually plugins. You can get them online, but if you don't know how to use them, just don't get it, because um, it's quite necessary to know about plugins, because you learn slowly, and I think I'll be teaching you guys as well. Just keep on updated. So now we'll get through it. This basically means a perspective. Yeah, so it goes like that, and then this one generally means stop, and you can just hover over these icons and they will show what they mean. They won't give any description like in AutoCAD or something. Yeah, so for now we'll just go into top view. So you can see that this line, which is the blue axis, which is the z-axis, the vertical axis, it's not actually perpendicular, because it's not, it's not parallel, it's not parallelly projecting. So we can work on this one, but then in order to maintain the how do you say it, the same sort of conceptual viewpoint while you're actually drafting in manuals or something, you can convert this into parallel by just going into view, no, sorry, camera, and then here the perspective has been highlighted. So even if you see it from the top, it's going to be in a perspective, it's not going to be parallelly projecting, right? So what you do is you just select this parallel projection. Now you can see that the blue line has disappeared. It hasn't disappeared, but it's just a point now. So yeah, that being the reason, we cannot see it anymore. Yeah, this is I think they call it Susan. Yeah, they call it Susan. It's just a reference guy which I was talking to you about. Here I'm using Sketchup 8 because I have a license here, but I actually don't have any yeah pro something. Anyway, let's continue talking about how to go on making a plan and stuff like that. What we do is, now for now I'll just introduce on how to actually make plans using line, and I'll differentiate you. Like if you're kind of making a rectangle or something, you can just use this rectangle tool. Okay, what you do is you will just use line tool first. So we pick a point anywhere, and as I told you before in the previous um, introductory class, that this is going in parallel, and you can see it clearly that it is, because it is in a parallel projection view, and it will just go on parallel. So you can just kind of trust on this one, that this being parallel, and you can just enter the value. Or if you want to do it in this axis, you can just do it the other way too. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to enter the value of say 8 meters. 8, that would be 8000 mm, because this is in millimeters, the unit, right? And then I can just go over here, and this is again parallel to red axis, and so I'll just enter a value of 15 meters. That would be 15,000 millimeters, right? Yeah, and yeah, the same thing. But instead of just entering the value again over and over again, what we do is we just snap to this point without clicking anything for a while, for 3-4 seconds, and then you just kind of just bring it like this, and you can see that this is being snapped, and it's kind of getting the point of imaginary intersection, right? So you can just click on this one and you can join it. Now what do we see? We actually see that we have formed the plane over here, right? Which is nothing but we just have formed the closed loop in the same plane. So that is how things are going to work. And suppose if you want to make a wall out of this one, or maybe say some thickness of 0.23 meters or something, what we do is, this is basically the offset command, which is pretty similar to AutoCAD, but it doesn't work the way in which it works in AutoCAD, because in AutoCAD we can offset the line, whereas here we have to offset the edges of the surface. So if there are no surface, we cannot actually offset this whole thing. What we do now is we just take this command, or you can press shortcut key F, sorry, yeah, F, and then when you kind of hover over this whole plane, you can see that this is getting highlighted, this being highlighted. So we know that this is actually possible for you to offset, whereas if you don't have any surface or something, it won't be possible for you to extract the offset of it. So what we do now is we just click anywhere on this plane. Okay, oh sorry, what's wrong with it? Oh shit. Oh, okay, this is the offset tool. I just selected the other option, sorry. Yeah, so what we do now is we just I'll just press escape forward. We just click anywhere on this plane. Yeah, we can see as we just move the cursor in and out, in and out. You can see it. You can see the reading over here, right? You can see the reading over here on the right hand bottom corner. That this actually means how much. That actually means how much. So if you want to offset inside, you can place the offsetted rectangle, imaginary rectangle, which we have right now inside the surface, and just enter the value. Say let's say 230 mm, right? 230 mm. Yeah. So the distance from here to here is actually 230 mm. Fine. And suppose, okay, let's undo, that would be Control Z, and then let's say we want to offset it outside, not inside, right? So it's pretty similar, but the only difference is that you just click on it and you place the cursor outside instead of placing it inside. So you place it outside and then you just enter the value 230 mm. Fine. Yeah, so the same thing happens, right? You can see Control Z is undo, Control Y would be redo. Yeah, so I'm just showing you the difference, right? Yeah, so that's it. And from here, if you select this tool, and then if you think that you don't want this surface anymore, yeah, and one more thing is that if you have a surface and then form another closed loop inside, that would be basically intersecting the surface, and that will be dividing the surface. So let's take the line tool, and then we'll take the midpoint for a while, which is a blue point of here from the next blue point. So this basically means that it has been divided into how many parts? There were before 2 parts, but it has been divided into 4 parts now. We can see it clearly by just going to the select tool. Click here, this gets highlighted, which means that this is not associated with any of the others remaining surfaces, right? Yeah, so this is the same thing. So what I'm trying to show you is that whatever closed loop it is making, how many ever closed loop it is making, it is forming that many surfaces, given the condition that it has to be in the same plane, right? So okay, for now we'll just undo it, and let's say we don't want this surface anymore, so we just click on this one, we just say delete. Fine. And in case if you want to form the surface again, what you do is, for me at least, there are so many ways of getting the surfaces back. What we do is, I just go for L, okay, line command, and then just take from here to anywhere. It just works anywhere. Fine. You just form a closed loop, and then it forms. And then what you do is, you go to select tool, you select this line. Yeah, for now there are 2 divisions in this whole rectangle, inner rectangle, but if we delete this middle intersection, diagonal intersection line, then we get a whole single surface. So the whole system of SketchUp actually recognizes that you don't have any intersection in between, you don't have any subdivisions, dividing lines in between, so it will allow you to actually form another surface. Okay, so what we do is, let's jump back to this. This is not going to be in a perspective because we have set it in parallel. So yeah, still we'll just keep working on it. If you feel uncomfortable working on this one, then you can just go to camera again, and you can just change back to perspective, right? Yeah, but I think this is more, sorry, oops, yeah, I think we have I think this is more convenient to work in, because I've worked a lot in this manner. Okay, let's say we want to extrude this, we want to make a wall out of this offset, say at a height of 3 meters from this level, or say maybe yeah, we want to create a wall out of this thing. Fine. What we do is, there's something called pull tool. Okay, this is like one of the most important tool if you're beginning with SketchUp. You go to this one, and then the procedure is pretty same. You highlight over some plane, and it gets highlighted, right? You just hover over some plane and it gets highlighted. So this is basically showing you that you cannot extrude. Yeah, it's something similar to extrude surfaces in other softwares. So you can extrude these surfaces by just clicking anywhere on this one, and what we see here is that we're just extruding it normally, right? We're just extruding it normally. If you just press Control key, you can see the plus sign over here, which means that it is actually leaving behind the surface which has been already there. Otherwise, if you just you can just disable this plus command again by pressing control. If you do this one, you're extruding these surfaces which we have selected, so when you finish it, there won't be any surface below. You get it? So what, just for the safer side, for always keeping a close surface, closed plane or something, we just I'll just press control so that um, you know, both of the sides there are surfaces, right? You can see a surface below as well as you can see the surface on the top as well. So from here you can just enter the value directly. That would be 3000 mm for me. Yeah, so this is done, right? And yeah, so this is the way in which you can actually create walls, and then similarly you can extrude this. You can just pull this surface below, and then you can just enter the value of say 150 mm because we want to create a slab, or maybe we'll just pull it above. Okay, I'll press control, and you can see that this is getting converted into white surface because we have selected a blue surface. Yeah, blue actually means that it is you know, the other face. So if you just go to the other side of it, it will be white, and if you go to the other side, if you go to this other side, the other side of the face will be always, it's not blue exactly, it's something like grayish, greenish blue something. uh, yeah, so this similarly, if you go to select option, you delete this plane, you can see that this back surface of this surface is actually of this color. So what I'm trying to tell you over here is that it has basically two surfaces. You can just color, you know, you can just give it any color or something depending on what you want. So this is basically white and this is blue. This is called the back surface, right? Okay, for now let's just, I'll just continue telling you about the, okay, I can, okay, it's something again similar to AutoCAD. I don't know why I keep on mentioning that it is always similar to AutoCAD. Okay, what we do is we just drag, we just, if you want to select few things which actually falls under this window, okay, which actually touches the this part of the selection, then you have to take it from the right to the left. Okay, so we're just selecting these objects now, so I'll just delete it, and then what I do is I'll try to extrude this floor, you know, take it as a floor level. So I'll just go to pull tool, this is, yeah, and just press control and say a thickness of 150 mm is given there. So you can see that this is the thickness which is given. But however, in SketchUp, how it, you know, how everything works is that it doesn't have anything called solids, you know. There's nothing such as solids in SketchUp. It just forms another, it just forms surfaces on top of another one, making it look like a solid. Fine. So you just click over here. You can just delete it. You can see that it's just a hollow block of, you know, it's just a hollow block. It doesn't have any fill. It doesn't have anything. This is because we have to work accurately when dealing with these things. But when you're kind of presenting, you can just edit all of these in Photoshop, or I don't know. I'm not familiar with layout and, you know, style builder or something, but I've heard quite a lot that you can do pretty much, you know, good things, like considerably good, really good things in layout and stuff. If you wanna learn, I think you should refer to many other, you know, Google SketchUp tutorials which you can find from the official websites. um, yeah, so this is how you can actually obtain the walls and everything for now. uh, Okay, thank you guys for watching this video. Please subscribe and leave a comment if you want any more of this one, because yeah, I'm finding it hard to actually keeping you guys updated, right? um, okay, I'll be talking about how to go on making doors, windows, and you know, the basic roofing line and everything. And I'll try talking about staircases and maybe in the next coming up introduction part of it. Yeah, thank you guys. Enjoy.